So I thought I would film a experience video for NCS. I'm going to try and make this like 10 minutes long because I've got to get checked. So yeah, I'll just kind of go through my experience through the whole process. And yeah, so I actually did NCS when I was 16. So when I finished year 11, I just heard there was this thing called the challenge. I didn't know what it was, just signed up and did it, and I had a really good time on it and made some really good friends. I haven't really managed to keep in touch with a lot of them, but yeah, it was a really good time. So the next year I went and did the associate mentoring, and that was pretty good as well. I kind of had bit of fun with some of the associate mentors of some of the community facilitators there, and yeah, that was a really good time. And then I got an email the year after that, so that was 2014 summer, to apply to work, and I think I started filling the application form, but I didn't really I didn't finish it, I didn't apply basically, and yeah, so but I already had a job anyway, which I was planning on keeping through to the summer, but then I left that job obviously because I moved to university, and I think I was planning on going back because they normally hire staff back in the summer, Christmas, so that was my plan, to go back to the supermarket where I used to work, but I kept getting these emails from NCS to apply to work for them, so I just thought, yeah, I might as well apply, keep my options open. And then when I got the interview / assessment, kind of thought, yeah, I might as well go, so I booked it. But then I really very nearly didn't actually go, because I would just assumed the whole time that I was going to go back to the supermarket anyway, and I was just applying just to keep my options open. But then I ended up going to the assessment, I ended up getting it, and I realised once I was at the assessment that I actually really wanted to do it, and so when I got the job as a senior mentor, I was really pleased, and I was really even more happy because I'd heard of cases where people applied for a senior mentor but got community facilitator, so I didn't want that, so I kind of was really happy. Obviously, like, there's nothing wrong with the community facilitator, but I just wanted the senior mentor role. So yeah, that was really good when I got that. So then after that came, so by the way, in the assessment, it was kind of, you got split into groups of 12, and you had to each took it in turns to run your own icebreaker that you're told to prepare before you get there, kind of not all in a row, but as time goes by during the evening, during the day anyway. And you did different exercises, kind of just to assess your suitability for the role, so to assess your ability to deal with challenging behaviour, and ability to get the young people excited for like a visit or something like that, so kind of different exercises like that. And at the end, you got like a week later, you got told whether you got it or not. And yeah, so it was 4 hours long, but actually it didn't drag on at all. It was pretty short, felt pretty short anyway, and it didn't feel too long at all. And they gave refreshments, and it was really nice atmosphere, and it was a really good day. And even if like I hadn't gotten the job, it was a good experience. It was in Waterloo, so middle of London, really nice views, really nice area. So yeah, that was really nice. And then came training, and that was 2 days. So I'm just gonna grab some water. And that was 2 days, 9 to 5 on a Saturday and a Sunday, and it was kind of just different exercises again and activities and stuff, just teaching or training on how to kind of manage, again, challenge behaviour, things like safeguarding, how to run an icebreaker, just stuff that it was in terms of as far as trainings go, it wasn't the most boring of trainings. It was fine, it was fun, got free lunch, got free tea and coffee, got breaks every so often, and the only bits that got a little bit long were the bits where they just stood and chatted and talked, but that wasn't really that long, and it was stuff that they had to tell you legally, so it had to be done, and it was a really good day. I got to meet some really lovely people, and yeah, that was really good, and it was really good to see some of those people actually, like, again at other points in the like in the summer. So like if some of your waves were on the same campus or something, or the same place at once, or like working on other waves with other staff and stuff, so that was really nice. And then came the time where I came to my wave. It came time for my wave basically, and I had a 3 weeks with one group as a senior mentor. The first week was away camping, basically the whole week. The second week was in a university, and the third week was not residential. It was back and forth. And in terms of how that went, the only thing I would say is definitely make sure you have an icebreaker planned before you meet your team. Planning is key. There was like the split second where I felt really awkward when the young people arrived, because I'd been so excited for them to get there, and then when they got there I was just like, ah. But then like icebreaker, we did an icebreaker and it was fine. So definitely have an icebreaker planned for like the first person who comes, because you don't want to be sitting there with the one person like alone. So even if it's just like a small game that you can play with just one of you, with one other person, make sure you've got that planned up to like 13 people, because you might have up to 13 people. And at the end of that 3 weeks, it was I'd say it was definitely challenging. It was a challenge for me. I had some difficult behaviour to manage and some difficult situations that went on. But at the end of the 3 weeks, it wasn't an emotional farewell, but I'd had a really good time, not only with the young people, but also with the other senior mentors and other like mentors on the program as well. And it was a really, really, really good time. And yeah, it was really good. There were some really hard times, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it's completely easy and that it's a bed of roses, because it's not. There was some really challenging times, and there were some times where I was just like, what am I doing here? But at the end of the day, it was a really, really good experience, and it was a really good learning experience as well. And then after that, I kind of like finished near the beginning of August-ish, and I just thought, I've got till the end of September to like, before I go back to university, let me just phone up the office and see if they've got any more dates, either as another senior mentor or as a community facilitator, because even though I hadn't trained as a community facilitator, it's all pretty straightforward because they give you a booklet and everything. And yeah, they were just like, yeah, there's actually a space has opened up, can you do this? And yeah, we did that, and that was really awesome. I was a little bit worried about going in because the senior mentors had all been together for 2 weeks already, but obviously there are other community facilitators that come in that don't know you, that don't know anybody else either, so that was really, really, really fun. Had a great time on that week. The assistant program manager was he was an amazing person. Like, he was just really, really lovely, and he was super organised, and she knew what he was doing, and yeah, you could tell that he cared as well, and that was really good. And I was a community facilitator for Team Jacqueline that time, and my team actually won the £50, the extra £50, and that was really, really, really good. Yeah, so that was another really positive experience. And then finally I was phoned up again saying, we've got another space in the same place again, do you want to work there? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I did that one again. That one was again challenging, lots of behaviour issues going on, not just with my team but with the whole wave, lots of social media issues going on, so that kind of took away from the experience a little bit, but at the same time it was still really cool. Again, some really lovely staff that I worked with, and yeah, it was just a really good time. And in terms of recommending it to people, I would 100% recommend, if you're thinking of doing it or if you're going to do it this summer, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great summer job, it's really good experience, and it's also a good pay as well, for the amount of time that you're working. Like, it's really good. And yeah, it's kind of like once you've been hired once, you kind of are able to work again and again and again. So this summer I'm doing the 2 ways as a senior mentor again, and I didn't have to reassess or really reapply. Of course I had to reapply because I had to show my interest, but that was really the extent of it. I got to do another 1 day of training, but obviously it's not like as long as the last year's one as well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it again. I'm really excited about it. And if I could give another piece of advice, I would just say, try and enjoy it, and don't panic, and don't worry about the fact that some people might not be like making the most of it, because at the end of the day, these teenagers are 16 and 17, and it's the summer after their year 11, and some of them might not want to be there. Some of them, their parents might have signed them up, or they didn't know what they were signing up for when they got there, and but I would say don't worry about that. Obviously try your best to motivate, but don't blame yourself if people aren't making the most of it, because you're only one person, you can't enjoy it for 13 people. Just take it every day as it comes, and yeah, I wouldn't say focus on those who do want to make the most of it, because at the end of the day you're paid, you're there to support everybody regardless of who they are or what they're like or what they're doing. But also don't get bogged down, or don't focus only on those who aren't maybe having the best of times. And yeah, just use the other staff for support. If you're finding anything difficult, speak to them, because they're all there to help you, and they'll all have, some of them might have done it before, and they'll have strategies on how to work things. And yeah, just enjoy it and have the best time, because it really can be good. And yeah, and if you have other good stuff as well, then it just makes the experience 10 times better. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really good summer, or I hope you do decide to apply if you wanted to. I met some of the most awesome people that are, some of them are still, like especially one of them is still a really good friend of mine. Like, she is awesome. She also has a YouTube channel. I'll link her down below. Shout out to you, Paula. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget you can ask any questions you like. I'll be so happy to answer. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.